Today for our lesson, Assessment of Learning 1. Learn namin lesson 9, Authentic and Alternative Assessments Approaches. And today is January 18, 2026. And those are my credentials. And let's start by presenting the topics we covered for today. Definition of authentic assessment, characteristics and samples, challenges, the types of authentic assessment, comparison between authentic and traditional methods, importance of alternative assessment methods, and those self-interior assessment. And after the topics, also the objectives, the learning outcomes, and I will hold you responsible for the learning outcomes we hope for. And let's start. Authentic assessment definition. Evaluation method that requires students to apply their skills, knowledge to real-world tasks. So, pag sinabing authentic, it means you can use the skills in real-world situation. They can apply. Example, you are teaching them, the students, the learners. Example, you are teaching works of Rizal in the university. Tinuturuan mo ng estudyante ng yung routine, for example, ni Rizal. Pagising sa umaga, anong ginagawa? Maghapon, anong ginagawa ni Rizal? And you are teaching this to the students and they can apply this if they can imitate. That is authentic assessment. You are teaching customer service and they can apply this in real world situation. Example, marketing students. You are teaching them customer service marketing and they should apply this one sa real world situations. That is authentic. Then comparing authentic assessment to traditional. Ang traditional assessment kasi, ito yung mga quizzes na multiple choice, rote memorization. Pag sinabing rote memorization, ito yung routine memorization lang pag sinabi natin traditional assessment. Natala authentic, real world relevance outside the classroom. You'll be asked to do critical thinking, how to apply the concept. Example, you are teaching math, you're teaching fraction, and you're going to apply the concept of fraction. Example, in dividing sample of food, a slice of cake, or a squared pizza. How are you going to divide? Para masabi natin authentic. Yung characteristic, performance based kasi pag sinabi natin traditional na multiple choice or quizzes, traditional Pag sinabi na authentic, the performance. Kasi they're going to apply Example, how do they handle angry customers? Isang business environment. So they will perform. Hindi lang to just memorizing the concept. Hindi lang to just memorizing how are you going to handle angry customers, but how are you going to apply? So ito lang ay, if this one is outside, that is already student-centered. Wala kasamang teacher sa labas eh. Pag traditional, so the teacher is giving multiple choice. So, teacher-centered. Examples, mga authentic, sample portfolio, showcasing student work, project that solve real problems, real world problems, presentation, simulation. Simulation, example, I handle OJT. I'm teaching them how to behave inside an office environment. And pag nandun na sila, are they going to apply the concept? They will now be simulating yung tinuturo sa isang real-world office environment. Experiential learning. Now, let's go to the benefits. Challenges. Anong maganda sa isang authentic? Anong benefits ng isang authentic assessment? That is engaging for the student. Example, deeper engagement. No? Hindi lang ito na, so they are not just reading, they are just not listening. Malalaman nila if talagang valid yung tinuturo ng isang faculty, ng isang teacher. Kasi real world na ito, real world application, talagang may purpose, may relevance ng concept sa isang educational journey kung talagang magagamit ito sa isang real world situation. Challenges, implementing authentic assessment can be time consuming. Siyempre, pag nagtuturo ka ng 3 oras or 1.5 hours, so hanggang doon lang yan. Pero pag ikaw ay, if they are going to apply, that is time consuming kasi you will assess hindi lang isang oras, kundi example, the whole day. Example, the student is marketing management student. And you're going to assess if he can handle an angry customer. Hindi naman lahat ng oras may customer. You're going to wait, for example, 30 minutes bago dumating yung customer. Then you're not yet satisfied and you're going to wait another one. That is another 30 minutes. Minsan lalampos ng 3 oras. Yung pag-assist sa isang student, and you're going to how are you going to rate the student? You're going to establish criteria. Example, the way he talk, the way he handle customer, yung kanyang mannerism, yung kanyang voice intonation. You're going to assess the student dun sa mga criteria, and sometimes hindi mo makukuha lahat sa isang setting. So you need another set of students para makuha mo yung talagang yung complete na sa isang criteria. Time consuming for the teacher and for the students as well, no? Practical tips. Start small by integrating authentic tasks gradually. So itong sinasabi kong hindi isang setup ay magkukuha natin yung assessment. Example, 1 criteria, 1 setting, and you build gradually. And of course, are going to establish rubrics para dito. And after the assessment, ayan, you're going to give feedback dun sa student. Samantalang pag ginay multiple choice, yung feedback madali pero pag performance ang iyong mini-measure dito, yung feedback medyo matagal. And of course, feedback are important for the students to support their growth and understanding the concept. And more on authentic assessment. Say from real world task, what is the beauty of authentic? You can demonstrate your knowledge and skills. Pag sa multiple choice and quizzes, essay type, what you see is just maybe the writing skills of the students, no? Pero pag sinabi nating authentic, example, you're teaching research and you're going to test if they have grasped the concept, the ideas in conducting a good research. Tapos they were exposed outside. What is good is they will actually demonstrate yung kanilang mga skills. Example, talking to customers, writing the questionnaires, handling questions. Ayun, So, lahat pag lumabas sila, interpersonal relationship, yun mga dinedemonstra skills, no? If the students are conducting a research, writing, kasi nagsusulat ng questionnaires, interpersonal, kasi they are communicating, handling queries from the respondents, gathering data, collating data, interpreting data, no? Yun ang mga skills that they can demonstrate. Sa mga math subjects naman, ayan, you're teaching math and you're teaching the concept of fraction. You can demonstrate how do they divide. For example, into several parts. Yung isang whole part. Example, cake, pizza, or you're teaching team building, and the students will demonstrate the concept of teamwork. For example, kung talaga nagagamit nila yung kanilang skills, how they interrelate with their peers, with their classmates, with their co-employees. Yung characteristic ng isang authentic assessment, yan nga, this real world experience or challenges, practical ang application. They will imitate yung concept na tinuturo sa loob ng classroom tapos gagamitin outside. Performance-based. Hindi ito quizzes, hindi ito essay type, hindi ito multiple choice. They are demonstrating skills. They will produce work rather than merely answering questions and deeper understanding. Tangible ang output. Hindi lang yung mga sagot nila sa pen and paper quizzes. Process-oriented. This assessment, they prioritize here reflection and iterative work. Ito na pag nagawa sa mga estudyante natin to, the student will assess their strategies and steps. Example, they will be asked to do portfolio. So they will monitor, their progress, they will assess their strategies hanggang ma-achieve nila yung kanilang pinaka-final product. Kasi portfolio is also an example of authentic assessment. Yung bang you're going to ask the students to collate yung kanilang mga work, quizzes, essay, project, major exam, starting from day 1 of the school year to be submitted, no? So, what the skills are being demonstrated? Organization skills, yung kanilang diligence in pooling or gathering, collating yung kanilang mga data, and also creativity skills kasi they're going to be creative in presenting a portfolio, kanya-kanyang design, whether it is digital portfolio or the physical type of portfolio. Okay? Real world context ng assessment. Yung mga types of authentic assessment na pwedeng gamitin. Presentation skills. Allow the students to demonstrate the understanding through verbal, visual communication. The purpose is enhancing their confidence while developing public speaking. You are teaching example English na speech and drama. Tinuturo mo sa schools example, pronunciation, grammar, the right intonation, the blocking. Then, pag sila magsasalita na sa isang example, isang gathering, they'll be asked to host a gathering. So, pwedeng magamit, no? And you're going to assess them by rubrics. If they will demonstrate yung skills of public speaking in an actual environment or actual scenario. Another type of assessment, authentic portfolio. Sinasabi kanina, no? The portfolio, basically showcasing yung kanyang work over time from day 1 to the end of the school year or to the end of the SEM. Ayan, so skills needed are shown, reflection on her growth, kanyang learning process, kung talagang they can measure if they are going to grow when it comes to their achievement and skills. And research project is also an example of authentic assessment. So what are being measured here? Yung kanilang in-depth exploration of topics. You are not just teaching them. Sa school kasi, you are teaching them how to conduct the research, how to gather data. An example, you are teaching ethnographic research, wherein they will immerse themselves in a community. Isang barangay, na example, arts and science. Mga estudyanteng UMS. Ang strand, mga UMS, no? Ito yung mga about arts and sciences, eh. Then you are teaching research. And you will ask them inside the classroom, of course, you're going to teach them how to craft the title, how to gather data. Pero pag nasa labas na yan, hindi mo na hamak mga yan. They will now be in their own. Sample, 1 week sila pabalik-balik sa community. Ayan. So, they are doing in-depth exploration ng topics. And they'll be showing here, fostering essential skills like inquiry, kung sila ba ay malakas ang loob magtanong. And they are doing observation. That is also part of the research, observation. They're going to analyze what they have observed and synthesize yung lahat na nag-gather ng data. So, hindi naman lahat na nag-gather ng data ay gagamitin kasi masyadong mahaba yan. So, they will be showing or fostering yung kanilang skills in synthesizing or combining or gathering or collating or summarizing mga info na kanilang nag-gather sa community. Immersion. O ganun din siya I handle now, for example, I handle immersion o GT ng mga students, of course, in school, in class, or teaching them how to behave, how to explore, how to inquire, sa loob ng isang office. Pero pag nandun na sila, they'll be doing this actual, how to inquire and investigate and gather all the info and collate, kasi they will be asked to combine or to present in a report yung result ng kanilang OJT. So, more on in-depth, more detailed discussion on the authentic versus the traditional type of assessment. Pag authentic, yun nga, real world assessment, nasa labas sila, reflecting their truth, yung totoo. Pag sa classroom kasi, hindi masyadong nilalabas yung kanilang galing or weaknesses. Pag nasa labas na sila, they're going to show their through skills and capabilities, demonstrating their applied. We will going to apply what we have learned into the classroom, applying those in a practical situation. That is authentic. And that is performance-based. Now you're going to observe them. You have the rubrics. Observe them through their performance task. They will create sample, project, research. They will perform sample, office environment, OJT. How do they follow orders from their superiors? Or presenting sample research, that is presentation. Because research have a final demo, so they're going to showcase their presentation skills. And knowledge application din, pag authentic, they apply their knowledge na natutunan sa loob ng classroom. Authentic yan if you will encourage the students to apply those knowledge in different contexts. Handling customers, or you're teaching office management sa classroom, I'm teaching office management, then outside, how are they going to apply the office management in different set of situation, different background of employees, kung talagang they can change, they can vary their management, pag iba-ibang kanilang mga empleyado. And of course, critical thinking, applying critical thinking and problem solving abilities, how to divide something in an actual environment. Pag traditional assessment naman, ayan, standardized test inside the classroom. I'm going to make sure, hindi application, but yung kanyang knowledge, skills, example, memorization. Format, uniform, Pag sa labas kasi, ang format, hindi walang isang format. Pag sa labas, pag authentic, varying ang format. Pero pag traditional, standard ang multiple choice, standard ang quizzes. And you can compare. It is very easy to compare yung work ng mga students pag traditional kasi standardized. Pag sa labas, pag authentic, mahirap pag-compare. Kaya that is time-consuming ang assessment ng authentic assessment. So, pag traditional, yan, routine memorization, recall of facts. Wala sang application. Authentic kasi is higher order thinking, application yan Pag mga traditional, lang yan, understanding and knowledge, yung nakukuha mo dyan. So, more traditional, samples, quizzes are shorter that focuses on specific topics lang. Pabilis ang feedback pag quizzes, Pag authentic sa labas, medyo matagal ang feedback kasi hindi ka naman agad-agad makapag-feedback right away after an application ng isang student. So, yung feedbacking sa quizzes, mabilis on the part of the faculty and on the part of the students pag traditional. So, pag traditional, pag quizzes, di ba, you are just measuring understanding, retention. Right away, you can tell them, nakuha mo sa quiz, out of 15, nakuha mo 4 lang, 5. So, right away, you can give the feedback. And that is needed for improvement. If traditional assessment, multiple choice is an example as well of traditional. Although, okay naman ang multiple choice kasi you are being trained here, sa multiple choice, board examination, multiple choice Pag multiple choice kasi, maganda rin kasi pinipili mo yung tamang sagot sa 4 na choices. So, you are doing elimination. You are also doing multiple choice. You're also doing true or false pag multiple choice ang questions. Ayan, basically, di ba, pag sinabi nating MC, only multiple choice, the students will be asked to select the correct or the best answer. So, on the part of the faculty or teacher that is efficient. Kaya lang dito, 4 lang ang choices. So, limited ang insights ng students, 4 lang. Pag binabasa ng mga multiple choice, so they also have insights na, ito pala yung pwede mangyari sa multiple choice. Pwede yung A, pwede yung B, C, no? And you are doing critical thinking kung saan dito sa 4 ang tamang sagot. So, you are doing elimination, you are doing true or false as well. Pantalang pag authentic sa labas, unlimited ang insights. So, pag unlimited, it will give them deeper understanding. So, I'm moving my slide. So, more on comparison of authentic, valid formats sa projects, presentation, portfolio, research, practicum or OJT, tadang real world task. Pag traditional kasi, standardized test and quizzes, no? Ang ginagawa. When it comes to purpose, traditional versus authentic. Ang authentic, the purpose measure real-world application of skills and knowledge. Pag traditional, gaano sila kagaling mag-memorize and mag-recall. That is traditional. Pag authentic, yung tinuturo mo ay na-recall ba nila at kayang i-apply outside practical application. So, traditional versus assessment type when it comes to skills, assess, of authentic, higher order thinking ang mini-measure like problem solving, application. Pag traditional skills pag traditional assessment, napakababang ang kanilang mini-measure. If you are imagining yung Bloom's taxonomy, yung pinakabababa, yun ang pinaka-lowest thinking skills, memorization skills, di ba? And you can imagine as you progress upward, papataas yung Bloom's taxonomy, pyramid, yung higher order skills sa taas na, nasa tuktok na ng pyramid. So pag authentic, ayun nga, no? Yung mini-measure nasa gitna, application, problem solving skills, analyzing. Pag authentic, yung pinaka-based or pinakababa ng pyramid ng Bloom's taxonomy. Yung understanding, memorization lang, no? Ang mini-measure dyan Understanding, knowledge, yan. Routine memorization ang mini-measure pag traditional. So that is lower order skills. Comprehension and recall. Advantages, but why do we need authentic assessment? Bakit hindi lang pwedeng traditional? Lahat naman ng schools, they are doing field trip, for example, lumalabas ng school ang mga student, specifically yung mga basic like the senior high school, the junior high school, and the basic ed, the elementary, kasi may purpose, may gamit naman talaga yung you're learning outside. So tulad ng authentic, merong benefit or advantage ang authentic assessment. Example, engagement. Authentic assessment will have the students engage, connecting yung kanilang learning sa loob ng classroom to real world context. The purpose is, maganda pag may ganito kasi motivation, it will make them more interested sa subject or sa topic. For example, you are teaching production management and will bring your students outside in a factory, in a production assembly line ng isang company. Di ba, maybe some of you here have experience yung field trip na pupunta ka sa Gardenia, di ba? Yung elementary kaya yata, no? Pinasya lang nag-field trip sa Gardenia, sa Jelly Ace, para appreciate yung ma-appreciate how the workers are doing. And that is also applicable sa mga production college students taking up production management. Nadala sila sa factory kasi nga, di ba, may immersion kasi ng ginagawa Ang estudyante, they should appreciate yung ginagawa outside. Totoo bang ganito? Example, you're teaching, baka mamaya yung tinuturo ng teacher ay hindi na siya relevant sa nangyayari outside. So, dapat ay reconciled or jive. Yung tinuturo, dapat ay ginagawa rin outside. Example, customer management, ginagawa ba yan? Deeper learning, this type of assessment, authentic, it will make the students have deeper learning. They can apply pag sa labas, their knowledge to complex. I'm teaching ABM, and sa ABM, meron silang subject na a little bookkeeping, application, recording transactions. And they should appreciate if paano talaga na-record transactions outside sa isang actual office environment. And teaching them, for example, sa EBM ng bank reconciliation. Ito may ginagawa talaga outside sa isang bangko. So, dapat nilang malaman, kung talagang ito'y ginagawa. Example, I'm teaching them how to create the income statement sa isang business. Mga mga senior high school, Ang mga senior high school kasi meron silang, fundamentals of accounting, business, and management. So, I'm teaching them how to create the income statement ng isang business, So, you're going outside sa isang practicum if talagang ginagawa lang ng isang company yung isang income statement showing the sales, the expense, the income of that particular company. And they will appreciate bakit ginagawa ang income statement. Advantage, nagagamit nila sa authentic assessment, actual. They can showcase their skills. Pag traditional kasi, nandun lang sila sa classroom, may mga estudyanteng hyper, they want to showcase their skills, actual. Sa advantage sa authentic assessment, ayan, pwede na ipakita yung kanilang mga skills. They can demonstrate their skills in relevant situation. Example, handling customer. So, pag ito yung nagawa nila, so meron silang additional, they are equipping themselves, additional competencies that they can use in real life challenge. Ito, talaga nangyari pala to, So, next time, gagawin ko to sa kanilang mga career opportunities. Especially mga marketing students. They are trained how to handle customers, how to market products. I ask them to go to the malls, then ask questions. Kung tinuturo mong inquiry, survey, nagagamit nila pag actual situation. You are teaching them how to create the marketing plan. And sa actual, pag meron ba kayong business meron ba kayong family business, gawin nyo nga yung marketing plan ng inyong family business sa actual. Sa more benefits of authentic assessment, ayan nga. So, deeper learning, kasi lumalabas sila, Pag lumabas sila, anong kulang? So, they are doing critical thinking. Pag lumabas sila, ano bang i-apply na ano bang gagamitin ko dito sa real world situation? Tinuro ni Sir. Concept 1, Concept 2, handling customer, sabi sa turo sabi sa classroom, yung handling customer, apologize, be in computer mode, empathy, you connect, you listen, so ito yung magagamit ba? Isang actual. So they are enthusiastic na magamit na engagement They are enthusiastic. Nagamitin isang skills na kanilang natutunan sa classroom. Paano ba pag may galit na class, paano ba nga i-handle to? Empathy. Sige, gamitin ko yung empathy. It means putting yourselves in the shoes of the customers na galit. Para maramdaman mo yung kanilang nararamdaman, you do empathy and you are excited, enthusiastic. So apply empathy. Isang situation. Transferable skills. Ayan, collaboration, actual ba? Gamitin natin 'to, no? Tinuturo ang teamwork sa management. Sa management may subject kasing di ba? Human resource management. May topic diyan about employee development, employee training. An example, you are teaching human resource management. Sabi mo sa HRM or human resource management, the students, the employees should have team building sa isang company. Once in a while, you should have team building. Then tinuturuan mo silang team building inside the classroom. You're telling them the concept of team building. Kaya lang sa loob ng classroom lang yun, no? So, gawin natin sa labas. How are they going team building? Actual. So, you bring them outside in a team building talaga ng isang school, isang university. You'll be taught how to do team building outside, actual. Importance, benefit of authentic assessment, may feedback, provides insights into student progress for both the learners and educators. Kasi nakikita mo talaga yung actual na ginagawa, no? Time consuming, kasi nga, you will observe the students individually kung talagang nagagawa. Then they will give you feedback, so medyo matagal. Diverse learning styles accommodates varied learning preferences by allowing different ways to demonstrate knowledge. Hindi naman ito palaging example. The school sent the students outside for their OJT. So different situation, different companies, different organization lang pupuntahan. Hindi naman ito pare-pareho, no? So isang company, iba yung environment. Isang company naman, iba naman, no? So they can compare. At isang bawat araw, iba-iba yung kadang learning. Na natuto, example, the students will be sent outside. They will do 80 hours of OJT. Isang araw, iba yung kanilang tututunan. Different learning. Bawat isang araw. Different situation. So, they will learn many things sa loob ng 80 hours. Now, let's go to the challenges ng authentic. So, siyempre, pag mayroong maganda, so mayroong hindi masyadong maganda, no? When it comes to authentic assessment. So, we're going to talk about the challenges naman ng authentic assessment. Ayan, no? As I said, time-consuming. Kasi you will design the teaching methodology outside. Grade yung authentic talaga, no? So, wala ka ditong standard na observation. Labor intensive because of the rubrics to be used. They will observe them. Hindi natatapos ng 2 oras ang lahat ng mga students, no? And it is not easy to observe lahat ng students outside. Challenges, siyempre, hindi naman lahat ng teacher are trained. Example, sa labas, some more training for the faculty, for the teachers to implement effective assessment. Of course, the teachers are more often than not, they are trained how to check, how to assess essays, multiple choice, color skills, no? Kaya lang, pag teacher ka, you're going to observe. So we are not yet trained how to do the assessment through observation. So, mahirap although you have the rubrics, mahirap mag-check kung saan part ng rubrics nagpo-fall yung isang student through observation, no? Unless recorded yan. So di ba, coupled by video recording, time consuming kasi mag-playback pa ng video. Challenge, subjective. Pag objective, madaling checkan. Hindi. Pag sinabing objective, it is based on your opinion. Sometimes, your opinions vary. Sometimes, may bias. Pag sinabing subjectivity. So, minsan hindi consistent ang iyong pag-check. Example, ikaw ay medyo active pa, hindi ka mapagod. So, yung assessment mo, iba, no? Pero pag medyo pagod ka na, nagmamadali ka na mag-check ng isang actual scenario. Example, defense, no? At sa mga defense, pag umaga-umaga, siyempre, pag ikaw yung panel, ginadong-ginado ko magtanong. Pero pag medyo hapon na, pagod na, no? Last group, nagmamadali ka na. Umuwi, no? So, iba na yung pagtanong, pag-assess, pagbasa ng manuscript ng mga researchers. Challenge, pera yan, no? Resources. Yeah, we go outside, expenses dyan. So, pag limited ng materials, example, you're going to observe and you need a video recorder, cellphone, tapos wala. Limited ang materials. Ang technology, walang CCTV for example, pwedeng gamitin. Walang CCTV, din mong video ka, no? Naglobat. Paano mga susunod? Hindi mo na sa video. Kaya if you have a CCTV consistent, pag walang CCTV nga. So, limited materials and technology, no? Example, wala kang ginagamit na no? Yung iyong AI, yung ChatGPT, hindi siya naka-premium. So, of course, pwede we can use the OpenAI to assess, to help you out in assessing. You will just type, then AI will tell you the assessment. Pag hindi naka-premium lang yung AI, di ba? Kasi mayroon siyang subscription. Another challenge, student resistance. Students might be resistant due to unfamiliarity with non-traditional assessment methods. Sabi ng school, sige, students will have a field trip as part of the authentic assessment. They will go outside. May mga estudyanteng hindi sumasama, may mga estudyanteng hindi sasama because of varied reasons. Example, may gastos kasang field trip. So pagkulang sa fund, pag sa pera, hindi sila sasama, no? Or talagang the parents will not allow them to join. Kasi of course, ang field trip meron siyang waiver. Pwedeng hindi pasamahin ng parents ang estudyante. So, anong gagawin mo? Siyempre, merong alternative. Pero iba yung alternative kaysa dun sa actual na field trip. Or talagang may mga estudyanteng pinapayagan naman kaya lang ayaw sumama. Ayaw talagang sumama sa field trip. I have students like that, na isang section hindi sila sumama sa field trip. So, importance, ayan na. So, more on importance, diverse learning, iba-iba. If they will be exposed to OJT sa iba-ibang mga companies, iba-iba yung learning sa pwedeng matutunan doon. Importance, presentation overview, skills evaluation. They will be showing their critical thinking skills, creativity. Kasi, example, portfolio, no? They will be creative in doing their portfolio. They will apply their knowledge. And importance, we are not just using traditional test. Hindi pala yung sa loob ng classroom testing. We don't confine the learnings inside the classroom. They will go outside. So we are not just doing standardized testing na pen paper pag authentic, real world challenge lang. Ito lang maranasan. So more example ng isa naman ng alternative. So alternative or authentic. Kasi authentic assessment are also called alternative assessment. Pag sinabing alternative, outside the classroom, hindi pen and paper, no? Hindi standardized pag sinabi natin alternative. So more examples ng alternative projects, like projects by group, no? By group ang project kasi pag marami yung class, example, I have 50 students in one section. So pag project, mahirap pag lahat sila project, tig-iisa, no? So I make them have the project in groups. So that is 5 members per group. So you have 10 projects of 50. So on the part of the teacher, madali siyang gawin. But of course, you should be assured na lahat ay tumutulong. Kaya nga kapag project, they will be submitting a random video showing that everybody is contributing or lahat ay gumagawa. Pag project, and they like project white, they will showcase their creativity and critical thinking. Critical thinking, bakit? Kasi may brainstorming. Yan. Pag project, nag-brainstorming sila. Kaya meron lang critical thinking. Mas engaged sila sa kanilang ginagawa. Another example ng alternative, the portfolio. Once again, ito yung mga they will showcase their work over time from day 1 to the last day of the SEM or the school year. So, creativity rin to kasi example, okay, sige, gawa ka ng portfolio using scrapbook or digital portfolio. So, bahala kayo. How are you going to present your portfolio? So they are showcasing their creativity. Another one, presentation. Example, they're going to present through PowerPoint yung kanilang mga takeaway sa loob ng isang SEM. So pag presentation, video presentation, yan, you are testing their presentation skills. If they have understand the concept of their creativity as well, their teamwork, and critical thinking. You can have the presentation. Usually, I will ask them to present. Hindi yung traditional nagre-report sila. Sometimes I will ask them, the presentation can be in a panel discussion, talk show format. Para yung kanilang creativity in being a host, in being a reporter, kasi showcase nila. And Q&A para may interaction. Benefits of alternative assessment. Critical thinking skills are enhanced kasi problem solving. Pag may team building sila that is problem solving, no? Example, you give them a task. Example, sa isang NSTP subject ko many years ago in STI, no? So meron silang camping doon as part of the alternative activity. So nagka-camping sila, hindi lang basta sila nagka-camping. Yung mga task nila doon ay talagang ginagawa nila. Example, pag-organize ng tent. I assess them Pag-organize ng tent, then meron sila mga activity, meron sila mga dynamic activity, then meron sila activity doon sa, by the way, we did the camping sa this authentic alternative assessment. Ginawa namin to sa Mount Makiling kasi we're teaching them before how to do the first aid. Then they will actually apply yung kanilang knowledge about sa first aid outside. Then we brought them to Mount Makiling. May activity sila doon by group, no? Ito yung compass reading activity. Iiwan na naman sa isang lugar, then ang hawak nila compass lang. So dapat makarating sila sa campsite using compass. 10 members to. So they will be solving. They will be computing how to read the compass. Kasi pag hindi sila magkakauwi sa campsite. Number 2, creativity is postered, portfolio, presentation, or video, drama, presentation. Example, customer service, handling customer service, or drama presentation. For example, in the classroom, I will present to them the 10 ways how to handle angry customer, 10 ways on customer service management. Ang kanang final output, they will shoot a video for every concept. So I gave 10 concept. I gave them 10 ways how to handle angry customers. So they will be shooting 10 scenes showing each concept. So they will express themselves. Talagang, kunwari, isang angry customer, no? So the students will show talagang angry customer. Galit na customer talaga. So lumalabas sa kanilang creativity. Real world skills are showcasing, so they are being prepared here for real world challenge. Example, sa classroom, in particular about the recitation, ang sabi ko, itong recitation na to, it's not just for the grade. Kundi, the recitations are training for you guys para if you have your first job interview a couple of years from now, normal na, hindi na awkward kasi you are trained in recitation inside the classroom. So, kunwari, pag recitation, ako yung interviewer and you are the interviewee. Paglabas mo, natural na. Deeper learning occurs as students engage with material beyond rote memorization. Ito like actual, no? Example, tinuturuan natin sa classroom ng office management. Pag sa labasan, in OJT na, no? Talagang actual photocopier, actual calls, actual computers, actual presentation, actual office tables, actual angry customers. Yung kanilang maranasan dito. Meron din tinatawag na alternative assessment na self-assessment, sarili, na ikaw mag-aas sarili mo, and also peer assessment alternative. Kasi nga, hindi yung teacher, hindi yung prof, mag-a-assess sa'yo, kundi ikaw. Example ng self-assessment, reflective journals. You're going, pag sinabing journal, basically, para sa vlog, di ba? Para sa diary na everyday, every meeting sa isang subject, you're going to write yung kanilang mga takeaway sa isang lesson in a particular day, no? So, reflective journals every meeting. It will encourage the students to critically analyze sa kanilang experience sa isang subject, sa isang araw. Reflective kasi nga it will promote insights, deep insights, and they will be assessing their personal growth over time. Kasi pag sinabing journal, start ng first meeting hanggang sa 18th meeting, may reflection. You will show your progress, di ba? Alternative assessment, the peer review. Ito naman ay review galing sa mga classmates. Parang sa office, pag ikaw nagpapa-evaluation, dapat 360. Pag sinabing 360 degrees, lahat nakapalibot sa'yo, taas, baba, sa kanan, sa kaliwa. You will be evaluated if an employee. Ganon din sa peer review. Hindi lang yung teacher ang mag-review sa mga students, but yung kanilang mga kasama. So peer reviews pose a sense of community among students, allowing them to provide constructive feedback and learn from each other's perspective. So, ang peer review, pwedeng yan, pag peer review mo, classmates, no? Classmates yung nag-review sa lahat. Example, pag meron kang 20 classmates, di pick out 10 randomly na magre-review sa isang student. Hindi naman lahat kasi mas sobrang dami pag lahat, no? O pwedeng pang sa group projects naman, of course, na project tayo. The purpose is to enhance collaboration, teamwork, team building, critical thinking, problem solving, no? Sa isang group. Pag nagpapag-group project ako, example, reporting. So lahat dapat ay sumasali, no? Kaya nga minsan hindi masyadong maraming members pinapagawa ko eh. Sample 5 lang, no? Kasi pag hindi pwedeng 10. Kasi pag 10, iba wala nang gagawin dyan. Asa na lang, no? Pero pag 5, 4, so mas maganda yung collaboration kasi 5 lang sila. Or 4 lang sila. And sabi ko, sige, if you magsasubmit example sa Google Classroom, isa lang. Yung leader lang. Pero leader, sabi ko sa mga leaders, include the names of those members. Include the names of those members na nag-participate lang. Pag walang participation, wag mong isama yung pangalan. And you should have the huddle or the meeting, no? Pag may meeting kayo, i-record nyo para malaman natin na lahat ng members ay nandoon sa meeting. And every members are participating doon sa meeting. Kasi minsan may group project ang gumagawa, ang leader lang. So it defeats the purpose of collaboration. Okay? O, pag video presentation naman, I make it clear na pag video presentation, mga rules ko, I will roll out the rules. Example, lahat ng members dapat makita ko sa video. Dapat lahat may presentation. Hindi kasi minsan na may mga video na bakit yung student number 1 wala? I-search sa po yung nagbi-video. Pag ako, ang hinahanap mo dito collaboration, speaking skills for example, so dapat lahat kasama sa video. And the group leader will now rate yung kanyang mga members. Okay, lahat ng leaders, you rate your members 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Yung pinakamaraming contribution, give them 5 stars. Sa pinaka-konting contribution, give them 3 stars. Ganon. And I consider yung rating ng leader in coming out with the final grades para sa isang student. The key challenges. Subjective ang authentic. Sa labas no? Example, how are you going to grade based on observation lang? Sa medyo matagal. Kaya nga may rubrics can help you out, no, in assessing, in doing the authentic assessment. Kasi your grade can vary, na itong sa nito medyo masipag to Hindi mo pwedeng takpan yung pangalan kasi example pag video presentation yung ginagawa, kitang-kita mo yung face ng student, di ba? Challenge, time and resource intensity. Sometimes you will spend more time in assessing pera, resources, no? Kasi lalabas ka for example, so may gastos. Challenge, since ito ay authentic or subjective, wala kang standardized criteria. So sometimes you can come out with the rubrics, no? Pero pag ang inasa mo kasi ay yung performance nila sa kanilang OJT, iba-iba yung kanilang mga assigned companies. So environment means may factor din doon sa performance ng isang student. So of course you can compare orange with apple. You cannot compare sometimes company A sa company B. Kasi may kanya-kanyang office environment Potential resistance. Kanina, unang-una sa estudyante, no? Ayaw nila ay sir, di po ako pinayagan ng parent ko na mag-interview. So may resistance sa parents, sa students. And sometimes, resistance doon sa company mismo. Sabi ko, example, sige, punta ka sa punta kayo sa mga mall, tapos you do the interview about franchising. Of course, the students are willing. Kaya pagdating doon, ang may resistance, hindi naman lahat. Some are cooperating, pero may mga potential. May mga store or fast food na ayaw magpag-cooperate sa mga student. Ayaw magpa-interview. Bawal magpa-interview. Ganun. On the part of the faculty or teacher, disadvantage, yun nga, overload, workload is higher pag authentic. The demands of alternative assessment can significantly increase educators' workload. Kasi they will go doing this outside, more time for preparation, example, rubrics, pag-evaluate, pagbigyan ng feedback. Kasi we don't forget feedbacking Burnout, stress sa faculty. But we cannot avoid this one kasi nga, di ba, we don't confine the teaching or learning inside the four corners of the room. We go outside. O pag may field trip, siyempre, teacher sasama doon. Kasamahan mga estudyante. Example, ang field trip, Subic Bay, Ilocos. So, mapagod din yun, no? Student anxiety. Students may experience anxiety or confusion regarding expectation. But you can remedy this with rolling out yung expectation, di ba? Yung rubrics is good example para pag before the activity starts, naka-roll out ang rubrics para alam ng estudyante yung expectation na doon sila gigradean. Kaya minsan mayroon pa ring confusion, no? Mga pag-alternative assessment. May mga estudyanteng magaling sa loob ng classroom. Kasi familiar sila doon. Pero paglabas, hindi na sila familiar. So it will affect their performance, certainty, confusion. Trace ka ba inequity? Kung sinabing inequity, hindi equal, di ba? Hindi lahat ay ginigradean mo equally. If assessments are not designed and monitored carefully, there is a risk of inequity. This could disadvantage certain groups of students. This is subjective, di ba? Authentic. And sometimes, may mga group ng students. Example, a male and female students. Binigyan mo parehong task. Example, ang subject is an STP, rescue operation. It will create inequity, no? Pag example, male and female, and you're going to grade them based on the speed. Siyempre, mas mabilis yung lalaki, di ba? Sa babae, so mag-iba yung time. So, may risk na inequity. So, how do you remedy this? Siyempre, iba yung activity siguro pag ang mga male and female students ang gumagawa, no? Tulad sa basketball, di ba? Mga PE. Hindi mo pwede compare yung mga male and female students. Alignment challenges. Siyempre, pag ikaw ay nag-authentic assessment tayo, nandoon pa rin yan, dapat naka-anchor pa rin yan o naka-align sa ating learning outcomes or learning competencies ng isang topic. So, dapat kung ano kalagay sa learning outcomes or learning competencies, dapat yun din ang i-measure doon sa mga assessment. Kasi pag hindi, may risk na hindi align. May challenge sa alignment ng assessment compared sa learning outcomes. Sa aligning alternative assessment with the curriculum standards, competencies, on outcome, 10% challenges. Inconsistencies in assessment, formats, and criteria can lead to misalignment, affecting overall instructional goals and learning outcomes. So, meron kang learning outcomes, nakalatag, naka-roll out, kaya lang nag-assessment ka. Hindi mo na measure. So, dun pa lang, yung learning outcomes, mali ang methods na ginamit mo sa assessment. Di ba? Nakalagay sa learning outcomes, you are measuring speed. Yung assessment mo, mini-measure yung sample, yung performance, hindi speed, kundi yung agility. For example. So, hindi na-align. Okay, so, this one is my last slide. Just hoping you guys that you learned something from this one. And once again, this has been Dr. Cortez, hoping that you got something from the lesson today. May I request, no? Kung pwedeng magpa-subscribe sa aking munting channel. Bye everyone!